welcome to today's video. Today I will be doing a little bookshelf tour, but I won't be keeping it like this for very long because I kinda want to switch my room up a bit. So yeah, this is what currently my bookshelf will be looking. And also another thing to add quickly before we get into the video, look how cute today's earrings are. I'm not normally one to wear earrings, but I saw these and had to buy them. And they look like this. They're like a bluey greeny colour with gold little bits in it. They're from this little cute small business called the Little Shropshire Lass. I'd leave a link to their business down below, and they also do another two pairs of earrings which I also really like. One's like, I can't think of how to describe it, but one's like kind of like pottery, a bit of broken china bit into an earring, and it looks really nice. I'll try and find a photo and insert it here, but if I don't, I'll just link them down below, so go check them out. Anyway, let's get straight into the video. I have two bookshelves. The bookshelves here and here is books I haven't read, and I've done it in colour-coded order just to let you know before I get into the video. To start off, we'd start up here, and first for the red books I have Snap by Belinda Boy. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right. Then I have Ketchup Cloud, which my little sister gave me because she didn't like it, and I'd link her channel down below. Then I have The Silent Patient by Alex Michaelides. I'm not sure if that's pronounced right. Then I have Bernardine Evaristo by which is called Girl, Woman, Other, which is a new purchase that I got from Tesco. Then I have Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson, which I was kindly gifted by my friend Abby. And then I have Dear Martin by Nick Stone, which I bought from Amazon. Then right here I have The Catcher in the Rye by J.D. Salinger. The reason why I got this is because I was studying it in English and I found it really interesting, so I wanted it to check it out myself. Then I have Death Row, which is going to be in one of my videos. I think it's going to be in my last video, the book haul, which I'd also link down below. Then I have The Girl on the Train, which I bought about a year ago and still haven't got to reading it. I also have Ugly Love, which is also in my most recent video before this one. Then I have The Hate List by Jennifer Brown. Then I have this book, which I bought from a charity shop with my dad, which I think is so cool. It's by Chalkman by C.J. Tudor. I'll put that back at the end. Then I have The Secret by Katrina Diamond. Then I have The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde, which I also studied in English. Then I have The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald, which I kind of know what it's about because I've watched a film with Leonardo DiCaprio in, and I really did enjoy it. Then I have Fallen, which I got gifted by my stepsister, and then that's by Lauren Kate. Then I have Prey, which is also another buy from Poundland, which is by James Carroll. Then The Treatment right there is also from Poundland, and that's by C.L. Taylor. And then I have This Lie Will Kill You, which was also a present from my friend Abby, by Chelsea Pitcher. Then Reckless by Cornelia Funk. And then I Know Who You Are by Alice Josephine, which I think might have been gifted from Abby. I can't remember. Then I have Sean Hudson Shadows. And then I have You and Hidden Bodies by Caroline Kepnes. I think that's how it's pronounced. Then this is my most cherished book, The Stand by Stephen King, because the reason why it's my most cherished book is because it was brought as a birthday present by my dad and his girlfriend, and it cost, I think, £26. It's the most expensive book on my whole bookshelf. And then I have another Stephen King book that my sister gave to me, which is called From A Buck 8 by Stephen King. Then I have these three here. The reason why those aren't coloured in the right colour is because it's a trilogy. I think it's a trilogy. And there's Sister Missing, Girl Missing, and Missing Me by Sophie Mackenzie. Then up here they don't fit in, so I've just put them up there. We have The Accident by C.L. Taylor, which my sister gave to me, and then we have James Herbert, The Secret of Crickley Hall. And then here, to decorate up here, we have a little incense stick thing. And then here, to decorate it, we have a dog toy, which I've had since I was a baby, and I put it there so it won't get lost or damaged or anything like that. Then over here, I've tried to have decoration that links with the colour that it's with, apart from that one. But I have a grey fake plant with a little grey face towel flannel, and then I have a Yankee Candle thing. It's one of the ones that's in the plastic wrapper, and I didn't know what to put it in, so I put it in a Yankee Candle lid. So anyway, starting from over here, we have The Shock of the Fall by Nathan Filer. This book, before we start talking about it, I've been scared of since I was little, and my little sister used to chase me around the house with the front cover of the DVD, because I've seen the film but I haven't watched the DVD. And anyway, it's Watership Down by Richard Adams. Then we have Jane Corrie with The Dead Ex. Then we have Room by Emma Donoghue. Then I have Lovely Bones, which I've heard a lot about. I've never watched the film, but I've heard loads of people talking about it, by Alice Sebold. I've watched this film. Then we have The Boy in the Striped Pyjamas by John Boyne. Then we have The Dying Game by Asa Advik. Then I got gifted this from one of my book friends called Helen, and it's called The Wedding at the Beach Hut by Veronica Henry. Then we have We Brought a Zoo by Benjamin Mee, which I got brought many years ago off my dad as I think it was a Christmas present, but I can't remember off the top of my head. And then we have The Cradle Hall by James Patterson. Then we have 1 Minute Later by Susan Lewis. Then we have Cold Black by Alex Shaw. Then Guilty One by Lisa Ballantyne. I think that's how it's pronounced. Then we have The Things You Can See Only When You Slow Down by Haymin Sunim. Then we have George Orwell 1984. Then next to the George Orwell book, we have The Reason I Jump by Naoki Higashida, introduced by David Mitchell. Then we have 2 J.D. Pickalt books, The Lone Wolf and Plain Truth, which I love reading her books. I've read, I think only one novel by her, but I loved it. I honestly loved it. And then we have Finding Colin Firth, which is also from Poundland, by Mia March. Then we have Jojo Moyes, The 1+1. I love anything by her. Then we have I'm No Longer Talking About to White People About Race by Rennie Edo Lodge. Then we have Tell Me a Secret by Jane Fallon. Then behind that we have My Story, which is the trilogy of The Child Called It, The Lost Boy and A Man Named Dave by Dave Pelzer, which I was kindly gifted also. And then we have Michael Morpurgo, Born to Run, then Stephen Leather, Hot Blood. And then down here we have 2 candles to go with the purple pinky books. And then we also have a toy from when I was a baby. And we have We Are Young and The Liars, which I was kindly gifted from my friend Abby. And We Are Young is by Kat Clark and The Liars is by Jonathan Matthew, I think it's pronounced. Then we have A Sun Is Also a Star by Nicola Yoon. And then I didn't realise this was a book, and I watched the Netflix, I think it's a Netflix film, which is called 5 Feet Apart by Simon and Suster, I think it's pronounced. And then we have Introducing Philosophy, which I might not read because it's what one of my exes left at my house from years ago. And then next to that we have Jodie Picoult, House Rules. And then we have Kathy Wright, I don't think I'm pronouncing it right, Spider Bones, which I found in the bedding cupboard and I liked the look of, so I took it. And then we have 100 Things They Don't Want You to Know by Daniel Smith. Then we have The Dog Share by Fiona Gibson, which I brought last week from Tesco. Then we have The Duff by Cody Keplinger. And then we have Dear Justice by Nick Stone, which is by the same author who did Dear Martin. Then we have Jane Green Falling. Then we have The Beach, which I think might be what the film with Leonardo DiCaprio is in, called The Beach, is based on, by Alex Garland. Then we have Malvolio's Revenge by Sophie Masson. This, and then the book next to it, this book I read years and years ago, and I remember being absolutely in love with it. And so I thought I'd read it again, because I've read it when I was like 12 or 13, or even before that. And it's Sophie Kinsella, Finding Audrey. The End of Everything by Megan Abbott. The Stolen Child by Lisa Carey. And then we have The Ted Bundy, The Only Living Witness by Stephen G. Mitchell and Hugh Ainsworth. Then we have The Truth About Alice by Jennifer Matthew, which also was gifted by my friend Abby. Then we have Let Me Go by Casey Watson. And then going to the bottom shelf, we have A Random Jar with a Scrunchie on. Then we have Noughts and Crosses and Crossfire by Mallory Blackman. I'm thinking about buying the whole series first, but I'm not sure. I might just read the first one, then buy the rest of the series. Then I have The Woman Don't Owe You Pretty by Florence Given, which was kindly given to me by one of my close friends who owns a little business, which I'd link below. And then moving on here, we have 2 Dan Brown books, Angels and Demons and The Da Vinci Code, then A Little Giraffe. Then we have another Yankee Candle, and we have In Pieces by Sally Field, Of Mice and Men by John Steinbeck, 3 Jodie Picoult books, perfect, match my sister's Keep It in 19 Minutes. Then we have Lily Alone by Jacqueline Wilson and I. The reason why I didn't put this in the books I've read, because I remember it being one of the Jacqueline Wilson books that I absolutely adored. So I wanted to reread it as I'm older now. So yeah, that's currently what's on this shelf. So moving on to the next shelf. I only have these 5 books here because they don't fit into this bookshelf because they're too long. And first here I have Free Cynthia by Cynthia Brown Long with Bethany Morgan, which is in my book haul video. And then next to it is also my book haul video, and it's Us Three by Ruth Jones, who I've also read another book by her called Never Greener. And then next to it I have Ultima by L.S. Hilton, which is also in my recent book haul. And then next I have Wild Like Me by Louise Pentland. I think that's how it's pronounced, but I'm not sure. And then we have Age of Miracles by Karen Thompson Walker. And then that's all in this bookshelf. Then we'd move on to up there. Moving on to up there, these are all the books that I have read. And then starting from over here, I just poked myself in the eye. The first book is Ruth Jones, Never Greener, which I really did enjoy. I think I might have rated it 4 or 5 stars and good read. Then we have Jodie Picoult, Leaving Time, which is absolutely brilliant. I definitely recommend it. And then we have Mirror Mirror Road by Cara Delevingne, which I didn't think would be a good book, but I actually really enjoyed it, which I do recommend. And then I have like little notes, like little letters that I've had, which I don't think you can see. Yeah, you can see it now, which I keep up there. And next to it I have Louise O'Neill, Asking For It, which is a really good book, but it's very graphic. Like, it has like quite a few triggers such as rape, sexual assault and abuse. So if that isn't your kind of thing, don't read it. But if you can cope reading those sort of things, I definitely recommend it. And then next to that I have Goodbye Stranger by Rebecca Steed, which is a good book. I think I only rated it 3 or 4 stars. Then I have Mother-in-Law by Sally Hepworth, which I thought was really good. It's I think it's a mystery thriller. I can't really remember, but I found it really good, and the ending really shocked me. Hold on, I just need a drink. Moving on to the next book is What She Found in the Woods by Josephine Angelini, which is a really good book. And funny story, I was reading it and then for some reason it got lost. It got lost under this white cabinet when it was downstairs. So I ended up ordering a new one just so I could finish the book. And then I found the book a few days later. So I wasn't amused. Anyway, next is Sally Rooney, Normal People, which I didn't think was that good. And I did watch the programme, the TV programme version, which I thought was okay. And then next to it is While You Sleep by Stephanie Merritt, which I thought was good. It's quite not graphic, but it's very. I didn't like reading it at night time, let's just say. And then, hold on, I'm shutting the door. And then next to that I have Gone Girl by Gillian Flynn, which I thought was really, really good. the film was absolutely crap compared to the book. And then in front of Gone Girl I have this, a little quote thing that says, "Your time is valuable, your talents are many, and your future is bright." Then next to the Gone Girl I have The Colour Purple by Alice Walker. Then I have American Marriage by Tayari Jones, which I thought, I've struggled getting into The Colour Purple for some reason, but I think I enjoyed American Marriage. I read them a couple of years ago, so I can't really remember. And then I read The Couple Next Door by Shari Lapina. I'm not sure if that's pronounced right, but I remember the book being really, really good. Like, the ending shocked me. Then I read The Book of You by Claire Kendall, which had me, which was really good, and it had me like kind of quaking in my boots because of how like nervous it made you, because it's about the stalker, this girl having a stalker, and it kind of made me always like look over my shoulder, if that makes sense. And then next to it we have One of Us is Lying by Karen McManus, which is really, really good. I read it and I thought it was amazing, and I've read Two Can Keep a Secret and the other book, which I can't remember off the top of my head, which for some reason isn't up here. I'm not sure where it is. But anyway, moving on to the next books, I have Follow Me Like Me by Charlotte Seeger, which was really good, but it was quite like, you can tell it was meant for a teenager age. Then we have If You Could Go Anywhere by Paige Toon, which was a bit of a slow burner, but I ended up really loving the story, and it was really cute, and it broke my heart at some points but melted my heart at others. And then after we have one of my all-time favourite books, which is All the Bright Places by Jennifer Nevin, which of course I won't go into much detail about what happens in it, because I have done my top 5 favourite books where I talk about it, which I think is really, really good. I just loved it. I really do recommend anything by Jennifer Nevin. And then next to it I have Holding Up the Universe, which is also by her, which was really good. I really enjoyed that one. That one was a bit different. It wasn't as upsetting as All the Bright Places, but it still was quite upsetting. But it talks about obesity and like lacking body confidence, which I think she did spot on. And then next to it I have Guilt and Obsession by Amanda Robson, which they were outstanding. They were amazing, and they were very, I think they're a thriller or mystery, I'm not sure which one, but the author had it crack on it. They were really good. I'd recommend them as well. And then I have One Day by David Nichols, which I watched the film first, so that kind of spoiled the ending, but I still thought it was good. And then I have Sophie Hannah, A Room Swept White, which I struggled getting into. Like, I did read the book, but I struggled getting into it and carrying on to read it. I did finish it, but I just found it a bit boring. Like, in my head I was like, oh, I can't wait to finish this. And then next to it I have The House on Sunset Lake by Tasmina Perry, which I wasn't too keen on that either. I got quite bored of that book. Then I had Match by Ali Condor or Condai, I'm not sure how that's pronounced, but I didn't really like that book. I ended up reading like over halfway and just giving it up because I couldn't get into it. And then next to that book I have Apple Tree Yard by Louise Daltrey, which was okay. It's not the best book I've read, it was just more average, if that makes sense. Then I have Perfect by Cecilia Ahern, which I didn't enjoy whatsoever. I got about, because I don't like giving books up, I got about over halfway through and ended up giving it up. So yeah. And then next to it I have 13 Reasons Why by J Asha, which I read after I watched the Netflix series, and I feel like if I read it before I watched it, it would have been a good book. But because the book's so much more different than the film, I really struggled with it. So I did read it all, but because obviously I knew what sort of things was happening, because I watched the Netflix series, I kind of struggled to get into it because I was expecting something from the film to happen. But I feel like if I hadn't watched the series, it would have been a good book. But yeah. And then moving on, I have The Luckiest Girl Alive, which I can't see who it's by because I'm too short, which I really didn't enjoy that book. And then I have Nemesis by Brendan Whites. I'm not so sure. I'm rubbish at pronouncing names. But I thought that book was okay. And then next to it I have Love, Simon by Becky Albertalli, which I didn't enjoy it. I found it I struggled to get into it, and I found it very cringe-worthy, which at some points I was like, oh. And I just thought it wasn't my cup of tea. Like, I didn't enjoy I like the storyline, but I feel like there was some of it, it's very, I just find it very cringy at some points. And then next to that I have The Hate You Give, which, as I mentioned before, I absolutely loved. And then next to that I have Concrete Rose, which they are both by Angie Thomas, which I also loved, as I say in my most recent video. And then I have 5 books by Jojo Moyes. I have Me Before You, After You, and Still Me, which I loved all of. And then I have The Girl You Left Behind, which was incredible. I really like that one because it's a bit different compared to anything else I've read by Moyes. And then the last book that I read by her was Night Music, which is one of my favourites. And then we have Beth O'Leary, 2 Beth O'Leary books, The Switch and The Flat Share, which were both incredible. They had me doing proper belly laughs because I found them that funny. And at some points my heart did hurt for both the characters. And then at some points I was crying happy tears because of how happy some of the events in the book is. And then I have Daphne du Maurier, Rebecca, which I didn't seem to enjoy whatsoever. I struggled to get into the book, and a lot of the way through the book I was just bored, but I did end up finishing it. And then I have The Hating Game by Sally Thorne, which I did enjoy that book. It was quite funny in a lot of places, but I just found because there is some quite steamy scenes, and I just sometimes I didn't really enjoy the steamy scenes. It was a bit sometimes I didn't think it was necessary. I thought it would have been a good book without the steamy scenes. And then next I have Emily Bronte, Wuthering Heights, which I didn't enjoy whatsoever. I don't know what about it I didn't enjoy. I just was quite bored through a lot of it, and I just didn't have a clue what was going on half the time. And then I have The Rumour by I'm too short to see who it's by, which I thought was really good. I love how the storyline develops and how you find little snippets of each character in the story, and it always has you questioning each character. And the who you end up finding that it is who is the murderer in it really shocks you because it's the person you least expect. And then next I have Tired Line by Penny Hancock, which I didn't enjoy. Like I understood what was going on and everything, but a lot of the time I was just like, I didn't understand why they was doing what they's doing. And the main character, the woman in it, always had me thinking what's wrong with her, like what the hell's going on. And then next I have The Story of Shannon Rose Part 2 and The Story of Shannon Rose, which as I mentioned in my most recent video, is really, really good. I do recommend them, but they do have some triggers, and just to pre-warn you. And then I have Unnatural Causes by Dr. Richard Shepherd, which is honestly so interesting. Like, there is at some points where I had to take a break because I felt bombarded with like facts and information. So at some points I did need to take a break, but it shocked me. It was really good and like really interesting, and it kind of does open up your mind. And then I have The Summer I Turned Pretty by Jenny Han, which I really honestly, like, the book deserved 5 out of 5 stars, and I really love it, and I cannot wait to get my hands on the rest of the series, the rest of the trilogy I mean. And then the last 2 books is Stephen King's The Green Mile, which was really good. It's a bit of a slow burner, but honestly I found it really good. Like there was, I think, without spoiling it, the scene with the mouse, it does make me cry a little bit. And then I have To Kill a Mockingbird, which I didn't enjoy whatsoever. I don't know why I didn't enjoy it, I just didn't seem to. So yeah, that's a roundup on my bookshelf. And normally here I have down, like at the bottom here, I have my to be read pile of the month, which I won't be showing you else it will be spoiling it. And then I keep the current book I'm reading next to my bed. So yeah, that's a roundup of the books that I have read and my bookshelves of books that I haven't read. Now, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and don't forget to leave the notification bells on. Comment what videos you want to see next or any suggestions of things, and I know I said it, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I cannot wait to see you in the next one.